How's it going, everybody? Just got done milking. Cows are out in the pasture. Pipeline's about to start washing. I hear the vat filling up right now. I do this video every 4th of July. You know, everyone's heard the whole expression, the old expression, knee high by the 4th of July. And I always go out around 4th of July and show the corn, and it's always above our knees because with all the corn varieties now, I mean, there's, you know, it could be knee high by the 4th of July if you get it in at a decent time. However, this year I'm going to show you corn that's not knee high by the 4th of July. We've had a crazy year. Usually we start planting depending on the temperature and depending how, you know, how warm it is, and you know, we have and how dry it is, because there's some wet fields we have. So depending on the year, we'll have we'll probably end of April, beginning of May is when we'll start planting corn. We'll finish up by middle to end of May. We'll finish planting corn, jump on, start up some soybeans, chop some first cut in alfalfa, 1st of June, finish up the soybeans. That's usually how things work with us. With this year, it was a little different. And we had the new 6-row corn planter, which I didn't film much because my dad was doing the planting. So when he's planting, I'm either in a different field doing something or I'm in here milking cows. So it's hard to get some footage of them. I did post a short, and that was the first day. That was May 20th was the first day we were able to start planting. So May 20th is when we started planting. And then my son, the following week, my son went up and got some footage of him making some laps. So we'll go look at those two fields and, you know, how we started off. Why did we start off so late? Well, we started off, the majority of our ground was underwater. We farm along the river. I know people have asked, how often does that flood? It depends, you know. It depends on, you know, I don't have an average. We've had some disastrous floods where it's knocked crop out. We've had some floods that come up and haven't done much, and anything in between. So we got a late start planting. We finally got down by the river all planted, and a couple weeks ago, right? It was right when we were about ready to chop alfalfa. Right after I merged, we got a horrible rainstorm, crazy rainstorm, and the majority of it came up north, so all the water came, so it flooded a lot of it. I'll show you some corn that was flooded, and I'm going to show you fields that look good, and I'm going to show you fields that do not look good. We have some wet ground up in the hills, hill ground that's very, very wet that we planted. The field was too wet when we planted it, and you'll see it when we get there. It doesn't look great. We're gonna chop it, so it's not a huge deal, but it's not looking good. It's a wet field. I know some people said, you can go right through and plant in mud. Well, apparently not around here. So I'll show you that. So let's go around and look at some cornfields. Let's hop into this Polaris Ranger. This is about ready to leave here soon. This has been a great machine, so I'm trying to find some jobs for this. This has done so many different things. Tonight, it's going to be a simple job of driving us around, looking at some corn. So let's hop in and let's go look at the first field. All right, so this is the first field we planted, May 20th. There's a deer up there, up in the, past the trees, up in the second cut in grass, looking down at me like, what the heck's going on? So, pretty safe bet that this is knee high by the 4th of July. This is July 6th, by the way. Sunday, July 6th is when we're filming this, so not too far off. It was knee high. It was just as tall a couple days ago, but we've gotten some crazy heat and a lot of rain, and the corn has really liked that. It's looking really nice. Some nice looking corn. Love the color on it. A lot of rocks in this field. I know people are just amazed at the rocks we have here in New York, but so yeah, this was the first field. So this is probably, actually I have not been up the next field I'll show you. The other one my son filmed I have not been up to that one, so I honestly don't know if that looks great or if that looks horrible. But I'll take you up to that one. After this one, he planted one up the road, so I'll show you that one. That's probably, I'm gonna assume that's our best looking field. So let's go see that one. Sun's nice and bright. All right. So, when he was done planting that field we just saw, that first field, he came up here and planted this. This looks great. Yeah, it's up to, oh geez, blinded by the sun here. This is the first couple rows. If I walk out in it, you can see it goes a little taller, but yeah, corn looks really good here. It's up to my stomach, past my belly button area, almost up to my chest. If I walked out there, it gets a little taller, it probably would be up to my chest. I'm about, someone asked me one time, is your corn going to be knee-high by the 4th of July? I said, it depends on how tall you are, I guess. I'm about 5'10", so corn looks good. Pretty happy with this. So the first field that I showed you, we're going to chop that for corn silage. This will be combined for high moisture corn. So yeah, let's go run up to, it's actually going to be past those trees way up in the hill. We're not going to get to it from here. We got to go back to the farm and around and up, take a trail up. So yeah, this next field we're going to now is the field. I'll show a clip right here of my son running around with a camera, and he was filming my dad as he planted. So let's go up and see that. Corn looks good. Looks like the corn planter's doing a nice job. The leaves look really nice. Nice color on the leaves. You see, this was corn last year. Corn on corn. We combined this last year, and we will do the same this year. This will be combined. So, all right. So I've showed you all these fields that are, oh, they're nice. They're up to my chest. After all this was planted, it was like a break that he had to plant because, you know, like I said, down by the river it was flooded, so we couldn't get on it. And then once we could get on it, we had to finish up our tillage work, get all that done. And so that is, I'm going to spoil alert, that will not be knee-high, but let's go check it out. So we're down here along the river. As you can see, the corn is a lot smaller down here. I'm trying to think when this was planted. I'll have to put the date. I know it was in June, and it wasn't early in June either. And then after it was planted and it started coming up, we flooded. So this part here was underwater. I'm surprised. You could see where the water the flood water came through here. Yes, a second flood came through here and just wiped out all this corn. This will be chopped for corn silage, but yeah, it wiped all this corn out right here. And this little, when the water went down, there was still sitting water through here, and it killed off all that corn. So definitely not knee high by any means, but so this was the very last field of corn we planted. Like I said, I don't know the date. I'll have to look it up. But this field, I mean, the river runs right along. On the other side of that grass is the river. This field was totally underwater with the corn, like it is. Well, not like it is, because it didn't just flood. It did kill off a little bit over here, and I see a little spot where it killed off there. So this field flooded and everything was underwater. The corn was like this big, and I'm shocked that as much came back as it did. I thought this field was going to be a total loss, but you could see where it's kind of even with the water right there. So a lot of water came in right through here and washed that area out. So, and hello to you too. So not quite knee high. Ooh, look at that. The festivities of the 4th of July continue. Independence Day weekend. People are still having fun from that. So yeah, this was, like I said, I'd have to look up the date, but this was mid to late June we did this. So yeah, not even a month old yet. And it flooded. So beans are on the other side. We planted beans after. So we planted this, got done planting this field, then we hopped right over here to beans. And so this field was totally under. There was a portion of the field up there I showed you guys that the water came through and cut through and cut that area out, that we lost some corn. And then our soybeans over here, I'm really surprised, because as soon as we planted it, it flooded, and it was, I'm trying to remember when it was. It was like the day after he finished. He's like, we're totally done. We got done planting. So happy. The way we started out, we were so late, and I thought we'd never get done. And here we are, and it's the last week of June, or second to last week of June, something like that. Last week of June. And we're done planting. And then we got that rainstorm, and then this all flooded. Not all of it, but a good quarter of this flooded. So I'm actually very surprised that this isn't killed off. You can see where like some of the corn got killed off, and then that field that got killed off. But so yeah, not the most trying to find the word, corn you'd want to brag about. Like I said, it was so late, but you know, tis the season we had. It was a crazy one for sure. I mean, everything was late. The alfalfa was late. Oh, fun times. Oh, let's go check the sweet corn. Sweet corn looks good. Look, we got some tassels. That's pretty neat. So this area, the first flood, the corn was in the ground, and this variety, it didn't kill off, but this variety, it did. It didn't really flood this area when I showed the video, as you can see right here, but right after I filmed that video, it rained that night, so the water actually came up and all this was under. So obviously it did not affect this area where it did kill off this one. And then of course we planted right over here. Of course we planted this after the floodwaters went down. So sweet corn's looking good. So it's the next night. I was driving around doing the filming of the fields, and I got a phone call that my dad was done mowing, so I went and picked him up. And then when I got back, I'm like, you know what? It's getting dark now, so I'm not going to see anything anyway. So I'll go up to those other two fields the next day, which is today. So going up to this field, I honestly don't remember the date. We did this before the river flood. These fields up here, this is our hay ground, and it is very, very wet. And we just had some corn that did not come up. This field was very, very wet. As you can see, it's still very wet because we just had another rain shower. So it just did not come up right in here, as you can see. You get out in here, it's fine. It looks good. But out in here, this area right here, I don't know, didn't come up. This is an early season corn my dad had, and we're gonna chop this. This was hay last year, and it's started getting a little ruddy, so we said, I think it's time to turn it over. And put some corn in it. And he had some early season corn, and we'll chop this because we're going to be probably just getting through with our corn silage. So it is knee high as I kick that plant over. There's my wearing shorts now. You can tell that I wear jeans all year, all summer. But yeah, it's knee high. We'll count it. It counts. There's a lot of bald spots, but what's there is knee high. So there's another piece out here, which is also it's wetter than this piece. So we'll see. That is same thing happened out here too. Very sparse in certain areas. So let's walk out there. So yeah, same thing here on the edge. It's very sparse. You can see some puddles still from the current rain. It's buggy up here. But yeah, where it came up, it looks pretty good. My dad moldboard plowed these. Well, there's 3 fields he hit. There's another small one. That actually came up really good. There was one area that just had standing water, so obviously we weren't going to plant through that. But my dad moldboard plowed them last fall after we chopped corn, I think. Must be. Or maybe it was right before we chopped corn. Anyway, he moldboard plowed them last fall. So I came up, hit him with the disc, we rolled them, and yeah. Decided, you know, we knew it was wet, but it's like, you know, it's not going to get any better, and it's like now or never. So he came up, planted it, and what are you going to do? It could be, look, it's still wet now, so it's could be the 6th of July and 7th of July, and if we waited for it to dry, who knows when we would have gotten it in. We would have waited till the ground froze, I guess. But yeah, so these are our 2 worst looking fields. It's just got it's wet fields and planted wet in the mud, and some of it did not come up. That out there looked pretty good. Should be good to chop though. Time to head down the road because we're about to get another rainstorm. So I'm gonna get out of the rainstorm. So good to go around and look at the corn. Like I said, that's definitely our best field out there. Yeah, you see anything in between. You see where we finally were able to get started on some gravelly ground, and then we had to wait for the lower river flat to dry up before we did anything else. So that's why the corn is varies in so much different heights there. But I'm sure it'll all be, like I said, we dodged a bullet. We really dodged a bullet the other day. You know, we dodged it with the flooding. But the other day was we got hit with a storm, and we just got some loud thunder and some heavy rain here, so I didn't think much of it. But then I know down in the city of Binghamton, my mother-in-law, her house got hit pretty hard. Trees down, shingles pulled off, and siding messed up, windows busted. And then my buddy Brock had some horrible hail damage to a beautiful field of corn. So we really lucked out. So we've been with all the late starts and with all the flooding and everything. We're very fortunate. So anyway, I'll take it, and hopefully that's it. But anyway, another good job by this Polaris running us around. I'm gonna miss this thing when it goes. This is a really nice machine, and it really does a good job. We've really grown to really like it on the farm, so it does a good job. But anyway, it's getting dark, the sun's going down, time to go in, get a shower, get something to eat, go to bed, do it all over again tomorrow. So anyway, thumbs up if you like this video, drop me a question or comment below, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have, thumbs up to you, I totally appreciate it. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody.